Hello guys and gals, so here it is. Of course, today is April 19th, 2019, and it happens to be the memorial. I did not attend, uh, partly due to it certainly isn't that I wasn't invited, and it's kind of funny because after I made my video yesterday, uh, I got a little visit, and this was left at my door. Even though I don't speak Spanish, I got some of the Spanish love from the local Spanish congregation, and I had previously been invited by my dad to attend, but I haven't spoken to him since we had our little argument. Again, this is going to be a short video. I'd like to do a little segment from time to time called Study Corner. And you'll notice that in my little study corner, we have some emblems. I will be partaking of these. And, I just watched Jude 3's video, and I really thought that was cool. His use of Ephesians 6:3 and or Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 6. But anyway, I was doing a little research. I was going through the reasoning from the scriptures, that lovely piece of apostate literature. And I decided that I was going to start at the very beginning and kind of debunk some of these things. And wouldn't you know it, that about the fourth entry is apostasy. And something kind of caught my attention while I was reading this. And I have a special copy. I don't know if many people have anything like this, but this is a rather thick 1984, and it's special because this book belonged to my grandmother. It has her name on the front of it, and we just so happen to share the same initials, and she thought it was appropriate to leave it to me. But this contains reasoning from the scriptures, and it just so happens to be the only copy of reasoning from the scriptures that I have. On the reasoning from the scriptures, page 34, maybe you guys can see this. It says, should we accept that apostates will arise within the Christian congregation? Should we expect that the apostates will arise within the Christian congregation? And then it has two entries. 1 Timothy 4:1 says, the inspired utterance says definitely that in later periods of time some will fall away from the faith, paying attention to misleading, inspired utterances and teachings of demons. And this was a topic of conversation recently, the man of lawlessness. I was told that the man of lawlessness would come out of the government, but this is interesting. The second entry here is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no one seduce you in any manner, because the day of Jehovah will not come unless the apostasy comes first, and the man of lawlessness gets revealed, the son of destruction. So I pulled out my trusty dusty insight on the scriptures. I was like, I really want to see what it says there about the man of lawlessness, because, like I said, it was just recently brought to my attention that the man of lawlessness is going to come out of the governments. So I started to read there, and again, I was surprised to come across 1 Timothy 4:1-3, and that it has a bit of the script here, but I'm going to read it out of the 1984 Reference Bible. 1 Timothy 4:1-3 says, however, the inspired utterance says definitely that in later periods of time, some will fall away from the faith, paying attention to misleading inspired utterances and teachings of demons by the hypocrisy of men who speak lies, marked in their conscience as with a branding iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from foods which God created to be partaken of with thanksgiving by those who have faith and accurately know the truth. Jude 3's video about the Ephesians, what does it say there? If you guys haven't seen it, I'm just going to quickly go to Paul's letter to the Ephesians, if I can do so. Forgive me. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 6 says, namely, the people of the nations should be joint heirs and fellow members of the body, and partakers of the promise in union with Christ Jesus through the good news. So he's talking about the Gentiles. Now Watchtower says that the Gentiles are only they only receive anything due to their fellowship with the anointed class. But here it says they're joint heirs. So it also says that they're partakers. And that's what Jude 3 was pointing out. And here I am looking up the man of lawlessness, and come to find that it says that the man of lawlessness is going to be commanding to abstain from foods which God created to be partaken of with thanksgiving. This is 5 minutes worth of research. And what's the memorial all about? It's about telling all the people who attend not to partake. Well, if the man of lawlessness is coming out of the government, Watchtower stepped out of the United Nations not very long ago. I mean, I wasn't supposed to graduate from high school, and they were UN members the entire time I was in high school. Just something to think about while I give thanks and partake, because I have no reason not to. And all I want to say is, however you choose to spend the memorial, I love everyone, everybody everywhere, and I truly hope that you have peace and satisfaction and joy tonight. However you, however you're going to be spending your time. Good night, guys.